My name is Dr. Surpreet Chopra. I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon and a philanthropist. I run an NGO called SC Heart Foundation in Chhattisgarh. We are currently the leading non-governmental organization in the state of Chhattisgarh that offers affordable treatment to the underprivileged and has access to the most inaccessible villages of Chhattisgarh for providing healthcare facilities. We serve the underprivileged by treating them at affordable prices, conducting medical camps in villages where healthcare facilities are either not available or are substandard. We also educate people regarding health and well-being through seminars. We believe that for a nation to achieve the sustainable development goal of equity of health and well-being for all, it's important that we as responsible citizens should work cohesively as a nation with various sectors of the society for bringing healthcare to general public at affordable prices. I'm going to be 48 this August. I'm blessed with a beautiful young 18-year-old daughter. I have studied from Armed Forces Medical College. I was brought up in a family of IAS officers, doctors, engineers, singers, poets, musicians. So I have influence from all spheres of life. I have always been an extremely observant, keen and vivacious person who always dreamt of a world which was tolerant and believed in equity of all beings, whether humans or animals. I went on to become a cardiac surgeon, and I realized that I was chosen to serve the people with my skill and my passion for healing. I questioned everything in myself and around me for constant changes that were required for this world to be a better place to live. And I slowly understood that living a life of simplicity, love, and kindness was the best way to live sustainably. I have had many inspirations in my life. The first is my mother, who retired as a nursing professional. She's a very intelligent, extremely diligent, sharp, and an active person. Although she's retired today, she still inspires me to be the best that I can be. My father has an extremely important part in my life, without whose motivation I would have never dared to venture into this world alone, to discover myself in this journey of life. I've also had the good fortune of meeting some of the greatest minds in the history of cardiac surgery. Dr. K.M. Cherin was my first great teacher I am in awe of. He was the first person who trusted me completely as a father figure after my father. Dr. V.V. Bashi is another great personality I can never stop raving about. His attention to detail, excellence, made me understand the difference between average and stunning. That's when I realized I have just one option, and that is to be stunning. I have performed some path-breaking, complex, difficult, and pioneering cardiac surgeries in this region of central India. My uniqueness comes not from my skill, but from my willingness to serve the poor with my skill sets that are not easily accessible to general public so easily. My kindness and my passion for healing and equity in health makes me unique as a person and an entrepreneur. My journey as a cardiothoracic surgeon was never a bed of roses. This fraternity is patriarchal, and it's impossible for them to trust women easily. I had to work doubly hard vis-a-vis my contemporaries, face ridicule and take care of my little kid simultaneously. Everybody was only trying to push me down. But there were people who wished well for me, who loved me, which made me survive that awful period. But in retrospect, when I think of all those bad phases in my life, I feel blessed that I went through all of that, because I realized that I myself could be that person for somebody else that I was expecting in my life. COVID-19 has forced all of us to examine our health and economic security. It starkly highlighted our poorly backed healthcare system and that threats to health are not experienced equally. We have seen that ever since the COVID pandemic, our health as a global entity has impacted beyond the health sector, and communities had to deal with human, economic, and social crippling. These effects were more pronounced in the vulnerable and underprivileged groups. and disproportionately influence the poor, displaced, and marginalized. Before COVID 19, we were already struggling with more than 70% of our population still struggling for access to essential health services. It is 2022 now, and we are further off track in achieving global health goals as a nation, and the progress has even reversed. Now, more than ever, as a nation, we need massive and cohesive global investments in health. We require actions that would shift the world onto a sustainable and resilient path. This cannot be achieved by the health sectors alone. The benefits are multi-sectoral, and investments also need to be made by all sectors. Greater political commitments are required by the highest levels of governance and by all the partners across borders to implement the required sustainable change to promote health and well-being. This is where we come as an entity in the society that fills that gap of urban-rural inequity in healthcare services. We also partner with the government organizations to serve underprivileged in the remotest villages where healthcare facilities are sparse. We, along with the government, conduct health camps at regular intervals of time, treat the patients at the district hospitals or government hospitals for free, educate general masses through seminars conducted in villages. We also take help of local volunteers to achieve the health goals. In future, we are hoping to continue our support to the government for achieving India's sustainable development goal of health and well-being. My major learnings from my business and enterprise as a cardiac surgeon and a philanthropist are that you don't need much to live happily. Only simplicity and love for all equally is what you need to be truly happy.